Okay, so this is the first warm-up challenge of the Universal Laws in Action training. And the topic that I want to talk about is the law of cause and effect in action. And this week, this warm-up phase is meant to begin stimulating your mind and to begin leaning into this idea of the universal laws, laws of being, laws of nature, in aligning with this, the mind aligning with this laws of the universe, which is the mechanism of the universe, is gonna enable us to begin letting the soul part of us to lead our life. And the soul can only express through the mind. Yeah, I'm gonna say this again. The soul can only express through the mind. That's why the mind was gifted. And the soul can only experience through the body. That's why we have the body. That's why we have the mind and the body. So this physical world is a playground that the soul can express and experience. And in order for that soul part of us to express fully, the mind needs to align with the laws of the universe. You can live in harmony with the universal laws or in disharmonies with the universal laws. And when you're living in disharmonies with the universal laws, you will see a chaos in your life. The disharmony, the reflection of the disharmony. So the reflection of the disharmony shows up in the outside because the cause of that disharmony is in our inside. So let's talk about the law of cause and effect. And the reason that this training is titled Universal Laws in Action is because so many people seek, and acquire knowledge of this information and they know about it, but then they have a challenging time executing and living what we know. So how do we apply? And this is a very simple step, right? The law, what's the law of cause and effect? Cause and effect is the outside world that you are living, experiencing, is the reflection of your inside energetics. More importantly, the subconscious mind, the vibration of the subconscious mind. Yeah. And if you have been on a spiritual path or the law of attraction, conscious manifestation path, you're probably aware of it, right? So let's take it a little bit deeper. If we understand and live fully the law of cause and effect, it means that because nobody wants to create a reflection of the lack in the outside, it means that you're going to refuse yourself to focus on the lack. So let's examine, right? How is your pattern in life on a day-to-day basis, on your weekly basis? How much of the time of your waking moment are you focusing on the lack versus abundance, right? This is just one sort of examination that we can do, right? So to begin living this law of cause and effect, to have this law of cause and effect in action means that you're actually practicing noticing at any given moment, focusing on the lack to be able to quickly shift out of that and to move into that state in an energetics of abundance, right? So in order for us to go through this process, what we want to do is to actually identify what is the one thing that you might be on a default state focusing on the lack, right? Now, it's okay to admit and acknowledge that. If you try to ignore and if you try to pretend that you're not focusing on it, you will never be able to shift out of it, right? So for the sake of practice, we want to acknowledge, right? What are the lack that you're focusing on, right? That's the question number one that I want you to actually answer. The question number two on the comment is, okay, how much of the waking moment are you in a state of abundance versus lack, right? So we will start with the 50%, right? 51% of your waking moment, if you are in a state of abundance, now you're more than likely in harmony with the universal law because the universe is an abundant place. Life is an abundant place. Lack was created based on fear. And tomorrow in the law of polarity in action challenge video, I'm going to talk about why most people tend to focus on the lack, right? To understand that will enable you to shift out of that. But today, let's examine your law of cause and effect, right? In action. How much of the time, if you know, even though you know that the inside is the cause of the outside and the outside is a reflection of the inside, many people fall into this trap of staying in that lack energy, focusing on what's not working is lack energy, right? Focusing on the problems is lack energy. But many people think that, oh, in order to solve the problem, I need to focus on the problem. No, that is not correct. If you focus on the vision and the fulfillment of it, you will find different ways that the way will be shown to you and things will be, you're going to take action to shift that. But the energetic wise, you want to focus on that end result, the vision, right? So you think and act from the vision, and think will be realigning and harmonizing based on the energy that you're cultivating, the energy that you're giving to the world. The reflection will show in the physical realm. So the question number one is, what is the one lack that you might be focusing on? Identify that. And how much percent of the time on your waking moment are you in a abundant state in a mentality? Comment those below so you can have a starting point. It's okay to admit just for a moment to be able to examine that so we can move through. So I'll share that on the comment, and we're gonna go one step at a time every single day to be able to build up the awareness and understanding of the universal law in action. Okay, see you in the next video.